canning can make your life a little bit easier. I'm going to make 3 or 4 recipes really quick just so you can see what you can do with your foods. And if you do a little bit of meal prep, just to give you an idea, I picked up these vegetables yesterday when I went grocery shopping, and then when I was getting my supper ready last night, I had some potatoes boiling on the stove, and I was able to prepare all these vegetables yesterday in the time that it took me to cook my potatoes. So I've got all these vegetables ready that's going to last me probably for quite a few days this week. The first thing I'm going to do is make a stir fry. So I get these noodles that are dry that cook up really quick. So what I do is I take some hot boiling water and I pour it in the noodles and I let this sit. It says to cook for like 3 minutes, but I don't want to overcook them because I am going to cook them again at the end in the stir fry. Now, to make things even quicker is when I cook some pasta, like spaghetti or macaroni or any kind of fettuccine, I make extra, and then what I do with the extra is I freeze it and just thaw it a little bit and throw it into the stir fry. So that's really quick. So I let this sit for a couple minutes. I'm going to turn on the stove. So in my pan for the stir fry, I've just got a little bit of oil, some water. I add some brown sugar because I kind of like the sweetness, a little bit of sweetness to the stir fry, and a little bit of water to add more liquids. So what I do first is I'm going to take up my cut up vegetables, because this is actually what's going to take the longest to cook in my stir fry, because my meat is already done, because I'm going to take some chicken that I've got canned already. So these are cut up carrots and my cut up broccoli and my cut up cauliflower. I'm going to put the carrots in first because carrots do take a little bit longer to cook, although I do like them a little crispy, but I'm going to throw those in first. Also, what I did last night when I was preparing my cauliflower and my broccoli, broccoli is not my favorite vegetable, but I like to eat some because I know how healthy it is, how good it is for you. And one thing that I don't eat a lot of is the broccoli stems, but I find when you put them in a stir fry, it's really good. Like you don't really kind of notice them in there with the rest of the vegetables. So I cut up the stems of the broccoli, and I'm going to go throw that in with my carrots because they're a little bit harder to cook, so it'll take about the same time as my carrots. So I'm going to throw that in. So for the rest of the vegetables that I'm going to put into my stir fry, I'm going to wait a few minutes because they don't take a long time to cook. Like the zucchini, the green peppers, and the cauliflower and everything doesn't take quite so long. So I'm going to wait a little bit before I throw those in. What I'm going to show you now is a really, really quick meal prep idea if you're running to work or you want the kids to bring something to school with them. To make it even quicker, sometimes what I do if I'm going to work and I really don't have time, then I'll grab a bottle of meat and I grab a bottle of vegetables and throw that in my lunchbox, and if I need them, I have them, and if I don't, I'll save them for another day. But if you want to get something ready for the kids for school, it's really simple. So you're going to open up your jars of nicely prepared vegetables, and this is what it sounds like when you open a jar that's sealed properly. Hopefully you can hear that. And the same goes for your jarred chicken. I'm going to put a cloth because it's still hot, because these are the ones that I just took out of my canner, so they're a little hot. All you need to do now is to remove the liquid from your vegetables. And actually what you can do is you can save this liquid and you can put it in a soup if you're making a soup. You can even put it in your stir fry and use it as a base for your stir fry. It's a really healthy, vitamin-packed and nutrient-packed liquid inside of your jar. So make sure you save that liquid. So now all you have left to do once you've removed your liquids is you just take your vegetables and place them in your meal prep dish or in your carry-on. If you want to bring the entire thing, dump it all in. I actually eat the entire bottle when I bring it. Well, you figure it's 2 cups of vegetables, so you get a good serving of vegetables. Something I want to show you, because I want you to see how tender your canned chicken is. So bear with me. This is just to show you how tender your canned chicken is. So I'm just going to take it out and put it on a plate and try to not break it apart. Because it's so tender that it's breaking apart. So I'm going to take 2 forks and I'm going to separate it. And it's so tender, it just falls apart. You could probably even use this and instead of making like a pulled pork, make like a pulled chicken, and all you need to do once you take it out of the bottle is add your sauce. So look at how this just, I'm barely touching it with my fork. It just flakes apart. I'm gonna taste it. So tender and so juicy. I swear to you, you will not regret it if you try this. So then you would just put your meat inside your dish, and you can add even some raw vegetables in there if you'd like, just to make a little bit of extra crunch, or add another little something in there, and you have meal prep that took me about 3 minutes, not even. Just have to keep an eye on everything that I've got going on. So I just want to check my noodles. I break them apart. They're good because I don't want them overcooked, because they're going to cook a little bit again in the stir fry. So I'm going to empty the liquids. So the vegetables over there for the stir fry are cooking really well. So I'm going to go and throw in a little bit of the, probably the rest of the vegetables, the broccoli, the cauliflower, the green peppers, and the zucchini. And pretty much everything will be in my stir fry. So everything's added to my stir fry except for the chicken and the noodles. The chicken's already cooked, so I don't want to leave it in there too long, and the noodles as well. So I'll just put them in at the very end. So continuing on our meal prep journey here, this is going to be super quick. Salad. So like I said, I had prepped up a whole bunch of vegetables last night when I was doing my supper. And I washed the spinach. Maybe a little bit too much. I am not Popeye after all. So you add your spinach to your plate, your prepped vegetables. I have a strange salad. It's probably because my husband isn't crazy about certain vegetables like cucumbers and tomatoes, and so I've kind of switched up how I make salads now, and I actually really like it. I just throw all kinds of different foods in there. And then I come inside my bottle and I take some of my chicken, and either whether you sprinkle it or on top or just kind of add it as a side. I don't like the chicken mixed in with the salad. I kind of like to eat the chicken on the side. So you just kind of take your chicken, put it on the side of your salad, and you have a really quick, another fast meal idea with your jarred chicken. Another meal prep idea that would be really quick to do as well once you have your chicken and things done is you can make yourself easily either a wrap with some fresh vegetables, or like we like to do, we like, well, you can do either really. So you can make either your chicken quesadillas or wraps by spreading your chicken out on your wrap. I don't want to lose the liquid, that's why I'm not taking out the liquid. So whatever the quantity of the chicken that you like in your wraps, throw it on there. And I have some cut up green peppers here that I had prepped last night, so I throw that on. There's a carrot there. That's all good. Who doesn't like carrots? And then I'll throw in some of my spinach. And then I'll grab some cheese from the fridge, throw that on top. And what I do as well is I take my homemade salsa and I'll add that on top. And then put the cheese and then fold that up and put it in the oven for 10-15 minutes. And you have a quick quesadilla made with your jarred chicken. Gonna go take a peek at my stir fry. So the vegetables in my stir fry are almost to where I want them, so I'm gonna throw in the noodles that I had prepared, and I'm gonna throw in the meat, and we're just about done. So here it is, the final product, the stir fry that I made as well. So in the time that it took me to cook this stir fry and get the vegetables to how I like them, I was able to create these 4 different meal prep ideas. So I hope this has given you a little bit of an idea of different things that you can do with your jarred chicken, your jarred vegetables, and just by adding a few things that you usually have around your kitchen, you can create some fast and easy meals. So if you enjoyed this video, if you like the content, subscribe to my channel, feel free to share, and stay tuned for other projects that I'll have coming out soon.